Jordan Love is really in an interesting spot for the Packers. He's someone that, showed a ton for them in his first year, got them all the way to the divisional round in a game that they were very much in. They had a chance to win that game at the end there against the 49ers. So who knows what happens if they win that one. They could have played the Lions, who they had beaten in Detroit earlier in this season. Maybe they get past that, get to the Super Bowl, and play the Chiefs, who they also beat. Again, it's different beating the Chiefs in the regular season versus playoffs, but still, the larger point being they had a very good year last year. They were turned out to end up being a real threat towards the end of the year, and a big part of it was Jordan Love. But moving forward with Jordan Love, I did want to go back and watch the film and say, okay, how good was he actually in these situations? Definitely had some great games, definitely had some great moments. Also had some mistakes, so I want to talk about it all. Let's just get into the film and talk about it all. Let's start off with something like this. I want to start off with a negative. This is something that we still saw with Love, even the last game we saw of him. The accuracy is a thing where he will just miss some throws. He will. This play, for example, you see the halfback's route. Also, I want to warn you ahead of time, a couple of these plays really seem to have a very low frame rate. It's actually not because of my editing software or anything. It's simply due to when I was trying to screen record. I think my computer's just gotten old and it can't play back videos in high quality with high frame rate too consistently. It's had its issues on some other videos. This one's pretty bad though, so apologies in advance for that. But you'll still see the point I'm trying to make, even if it's not in as high of quality. But watch as you're going to see Love he misses the throw right there. And in the choppy frame rate, you can still tell not exactly what he was trying to do right there. Okay, that's an issue in something that is something you notice. But it's not a huge issue when you think about the positives that you get. For example, something like this, which was something you just constantly saw with Jordan Love, is finding ways to make things happen. I thought the situation that he was in was pretty good last year, especially toward the end of the year when the younger guys started to develop. I thought LaFleur did a great job at scheming guys open, but you're still not always going to get guys open. This play is a 3rd down and 3 situation for the Green Bay Packers. It's man coverage that the 49ers are in right here. Love is going to take the snap. He looks towards the offense's left, so, okay, that's notable. But he doesn't love what he sees, and that's kind of the issue. So what is Love going to do on this play? Well, he's going to do kind of a classic Jordan Love thing. Watch him instead get towards the right, and there he's able to find someone else, flip the ball over there. Again, not the best frame rate thing, sorry about that, but a really good play by Jordan Love to be able to make this stuff happen. And this is something Love has been consistently able to do for the Green Bay Packers. Now, again, talking about situation, certainly there are also moments like this where you see the coverage that the 49ers are in, the zone coverage, and the Packers are going to have multiple receivers try and push 49ers defenders further deep, and they have a more over-the-middle route. That route right there, that's where Love is going to eventually want to throw this football to. That's the way this play is designed to work. And when it begins, Love is going to run to play action right here. He looks down the field and fires down the field. And this is a little bit open. This play kind of worked, right? There certainly were moments last year where plays just completely worked and guys got wide open. It's something I saw pretty regularly for the Green Bay Packers. Not saying it happened every time, not saying that he was only a system quarterback, but certainly, if people are going to hold it against Brock Purdy that guys get wide open sometimes, you also have to hold it against everybody, right? The reality is these are still good plays. You see Love makes the throw, caught, all that good stuff. The reality is that wasn't a bad play by Jordan Love. It was a good play by Jordan Love, but it could help bolster the stats a little bit. For sure, that's fair to say. But at the same time, you can't hold it against him that, he made the throw he was supposed to make. Still a good play by Jordan Love, regardless of how you look at it. To me, that argument is more of an argument of why passer rating isn't a great stat to use to indicate how good a quarterback is in more of a team stat. But that's a discussion for another day. And the other thing about Love is something like this that we have to mention, which is, he can make some really impressive plays too. We can talk about situation all we want. He doesn't need to be in a good situation for good things to happen. This play, you see the situation. It's a one-on-one matchup toward the outside on a 3rd down and 7. Love is going to take the snap, but there's a blitz, and the blitz is going to disrupt things a little bit. Love has to scramble outside the pocket, but, blitz is picked up nice enough. Love does a good job of reading it, but now he's going to have to make a throw, and he's probably going to have to make a throw off balance. I'm pausing it right here just to show how he's going to have to make the throw. Watch how he how off balance he is. You see how it's definitely, throwing against his body right there. Still has the arm strength to get it down to field, but there is not a huge window. I mean, this is going to be tough, and Dobbs is going to have to make a toe tap catch to make this work on the other end. But that's what happens. And I think that's what you really like about Jordan Love, is that he'll give you the game manager stuff. He'll run the offense effectively. He will give you the occasional, like when play breaks down, making good stuff happen. And I wouldn't even say the occasional. He does that pretty consistently. And on top of it, he can just make those wow plays. Sure, he'll miss the occasional throw, but you'll take that with all the good that he gives you. And the hope is that can kind of clear up. There is one more issue you have to talk about with Jordan Love. Let's go over to this play, the one that Packers fans have been trying to forget. Jordan Love, in terms of like turnover-worthy play rate, isn't bad. He's actually on the better side of like kind of the midway point. He's all right at keep protecting the football, but he will have his moments of really just not being very good. And of course, this play was kind of what's really well known for not being a great moment by him. I just got to set up the situation before we talk about it. You're only down 3 points. You have 52 seconds left and 2 timeouts. It's first down and 10. This is not a desperate situation whatsoever. You have plenty of time to try and get the ball down the field. Of course, you'd love a touchdown if you can get it, but you're just down 3. A field goal still gets the job done, gets you to overtime, which who knows what can happen once you get to overtime, but of course you'd love a touchdown. Well, let's see what Love does. Love takes the snap. He is going to look down the field and eventually scrambles out. Okay, another great situation, throwing off balance. What we're used to seeing. And, it's one of those things where no matter how you look at it, this is not a great situation. The only thing I can think of, and I've watched all 22, it's not like he thought Christian Watson was going to, it's not like it was a situation where he thought Watson would be there and wasn't. There was no miscommunication aspect of this. I think it's possible maybe he just underestimated the speed of both linebackers, Dre Greenlaw and Fred Warner here, as it seems like those are the two guys that, like Fred Warner right here, looks like he's clearly in front, but maybe when Love made the throw, it wasn't quite as clear, but still probably something he should have noticed. Not just that, but Dre Greenlaw jumps in front of Warner, 40 interceptions, so both were going to get it. Greenlaw was the one who got it, and then ran around for about an hour before finally getting tackled. So, again, not a great play by Love. It wasn't. Granted, I mean, bad plays happen, right? And it's certainly not like he's out there putting the ball in harm's way left and right. He has his moments. What quarterback doesn't? He's not horrible at it. That was a really bad moment to make that mistake. It was. But it's not like he's constantly putting the ball in harm's way. And I actually thought that, there's kind of a stretch prior to that 49ers game where he was just doing a great job at not putting the ball in harm's way. He'd have like one or two, times when he did, but for the most part was doing very good. So it's the weird thing where I feel like Love's biggest critiques that I'm bringing up were big critiques early on last year and basically weren't critiques at all, or were very minimal critiques towards the end of the year. All the positives I'm bringing up weren't positives early on, but were great later on. So it's super easy to say, well, yeah, he was a rookie, he got better, and he's going to continue to get better. It's totally possible. It's also possible he's an inconsistent player, and maybe we will still have some of these issues pop up next year. I really don't know. I think he's pretty good, and I think the question is just how good can he get? Can he get to that elite tier? He can. It's possible. I don't know if I'd quite say that he's definitely there yet, but I don't know. He was probably a top 10 quarterback last year, and I think he's probably a top 10 quarterback entering this year. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely betting on Jordan Love to be successful. I do think it's fair to say that this just happens with all young quarterbacks. It's happening with CJ Stroud as well. When there's a young quarterback who plays well, people just oh, he's great, he's amazing, that's it. It happened with Trevor Lawrence, and I was kind of no, Trevor Lawrence is good, but there's some issues with his game. He's still gonna have to develop in certain areas. I think Love had a better year last year than Lawrence had 2 years ago, but it's still it's in part the same thing. So yeah, I mean those are my thoughts with Jordan Love and what he can do with the Packers. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Do you agree with me that he's a really good prospect, but maybe there's still a couple things he has to clean up? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you, and of course, as always, thanks for watching.